Hi guys, it's good to have you back to another tutorial. Today we'll be making this granny square dress, this beautiful granny square dress with these colors: mint green, mustard, and then white. I'll be using a 2.5 mm hook, and you also need a scissors and lots of stitch markers. So this is how the square looks. We'll be starting with this mustard color, and then we have the white, then the mint green. So start with a magic circle, insert your crochet hook, yarn over and pull out a loop. Now chain your first chain 2 again to make it 3 chains, and that represents our first double crochet. So DC again, double crochet till you have 11 double crochets with this chain 3, making 12 double crochets. So continue to DC till you have 12 double crochets. So close up your ring, and slip stitch top of your first DC, which is your chain 3. So change color to white for your second round, and chain 1. Move on to the next stitch and make your DC. That's double crochet without completing it. Make sure you have 2 stitches, make sure you have 2 loops left on your crochet hook. Now make another DC in the same space without completing it. Now you have 3 loops on your crochet hook. Make another DC again, which is the third one, without completing it. Now you have 4 loops on your crochet hook. Then you can complete your DC by yarning over, and you pull through 3 loops. Yarn over again, and you reduce to 1. So chain 1, move to the next stitch, and repeat the same process. Make double crochet without completing it. Make another double crochet without completing or without decreasing all the loops on your crochet hook. Now you have 3 loops. Make the last DC. Now you have 4 loops on your crochet hook. You can now reduce from 4 to 2, and then from 2 to 1. Chain 1 again, move to the next stitch and repeat the same pattern. After making 3 of these cluster DCs or multiple DCs, chain 2, you repeat the same pattern moving to the next stitch. So continue to do that. Continue to do that for the next stitch. After the first 3 DCs multiples we did here, remember we made 2 chains here. So now we've done another 3, make 2 chains again. Then when you make another 3, you make 2 chains instead of 1. Then the final 3 DCs, the final 3 stitches, you make 2 chains. In order to make it easier for you, after working your pattern in the first 3 stitches here, you can place your stitch marker to point to note that you'll be making 2 chains. Then for this, you do the same thing. So now I'm going to place my stitch marker here so that I'll know when I'm about to do the 3rd chain 2 space. So now I have 3, so I'm going to make my chain 2. Then I'm going to work my pattern in the last 3 stitches. And then make my chain 2 for the last corner.
Now slip stitch in the first chain 1 space,
which means I have 4 corners. The chain 2 spaces represents our corners. So this is the first corner, second corner, third corner, and finally the last corner. Cut off first corner. When starting a new round in granny square, we always start from any of the 4 corners. So that means we have to slip stitch till we get to a corner. And since we can't go back, we already made our first slip stitch here. Now we'll be working another slip stitch in the same space.
Now slip stitch in the next chain 1 space and also in the next chain 2 space.
That means we'll be starting the 3rd round from this corner. And for my 3rd round, I'll be changing my color to mint green. So chain 1, two chains, again add 2 more chains to make it 3 chains, and that represents 1 DC. In the same space, double crochet. In the same space, double crochet again to make it 2 double crochets with this chain 3 we started with. That means we have 3 double crochets. Chain 2 and work 3 more double crochets in the same corner. So you can go ahead and cut off this white yarn. Chain 1 and work 3 DCs in the next chain 1 space. Chain 1, work 3 DCs in the next chain 1 space. So the next space is our second corner, and that's where we'll be working 3 DC chain 2 3 DCs. So chain 1, work chain 1 and work 3 DCs. Chain 2, 3 DC. So chain 1 and work 3 DCs in your chain 1 spaces, and when you get to the next corner, you work 3 DC chain 2 3 DC. So basically only your corners carries 3 DC chain 2 3 DC. The rest space they carry only 3 DCs without chain 2. You only make chain 1 instead of chain 2. So continue that pattern till you end round 3. Don't forget to end round 3 with chain 1 and slip stitch in the next 3 stitches till you get to the next corner. So for round 4, chain 3 and make 2 more double crochets to make it 3 DCs. Chain 2, then work 3 DCs in the same corner. Chain 1, work 3 DCs only in the next corner. Chain 1, work 3 DCs in the chain 1 spaces only in chain 1 spaces you work 3 DCs, and then for all the corners you work 2 DC, you work 3 DC chain 2 3 DCs. Only at these corners you work 3 DC chain 2 3 DCs. For the rest of the spaces here, rest of the chain 1 spaces here, you work 3 DCs only. So I'm at the corner now, and I'll be making 3 DCs, chain 2, 3 DCs.
So just continue working your pattern till you get to the end of the round.
To end round 4, chain 1 and 3 DCs in the last chain 1 space. Chain 1 and slip stitch in the next 3 stitches to start another round. For your 5th round, chain 3 to represent 1 DC. Now double crochet to make it 2 DCs, chain 1 and 2 DC in the same space. So now we have 2 DC, chain 1, 2 DC. Instead of 3 DC, chain 2, 3 DCs. Now make 1 double crochets in each of the stitches. You can see in this chain 1 space, you only make 1 double crochet. You only make 1 double crochet. Move on to the next stitch. Make 1 DC. So continue working 1 double crochets in each of the stitches till you get to the next corner. So continue doing this till you get to the next corner. So this is my next corner. I'll make 2 DC, chain 1 and 2 DC. So continue this pattern for round 5. Only make 1 DCs, then the corners, the 4 corners carries 2 DC, chain 1, 2 DC. So end round 5 with a slip stitch in the next 2 stitches. Now move on to the last round, which is round 6, and repeat round 5 for round 6.
Chain 1 and cut off your yarn.
So this is what I have for my final round. This is what it looks like. After making your squares, weave in your ends and trim excess yarn to make it neat like this. So guys, these are the squares that I'll be working with. I have a lot of squares going on here, and I'll be using these squares for the dress. I think I have about 70 squares. I know I'm not going to use all, but in case there is a mistake or in case I want to make any other project, I love to have enough squares to work with. So the next thing I'll be doing is to attach these squares on a mannequin. It makes my work easier. So just get a mannequin, a plastic mannequin, and attach the squares onto the mannequin. So our stitch markers are going to make the work easier. So we'll be using lots of stitch markers. I don't have enough, but then I'm going to show you how to use stitch markers to attach it on.
You can as well use your bobby pins to attach the squares.
But first, we'll be starting on a flat surface. So get a flat surface and pick 2 squares, then attach your stitch markers. Join your stitch markers with the squares. Okay, then another square is going to be right under the middle. Then place another square here. Also place another square here. So what we'll be doing is working 2 squares up, 3 squares down, then another 2 squares under. Let me show you. Then another 2 squares under, like this. Okay, since we have 2 here, we'll be moving on to 3 again, because we'll be working 2 squares, 3 squares, 2 squares, 3 squares. That's the way we'll be joining the squares. So this is what you can see. This is what I'm having right now. But first thing we have to do is to join the upper squares, the first 5 squares, to make our work much more comfortable. You can start anywhere. Actually, you can start joining your squares from any angle. Just make sure it is firm enough. Then pass it to the back and finish off. So do the same thing for the next 4 squares. Now that we've joined the squares together, place it on your mannequin. Pass your rope through the apex. So do the same thing to the back. This is the front, and then I'm going to show you what the back looks like. It is empty. Okay, so we are going to finish the front first before moving on to the back. So the next thing we're doing now is to attach 2 squares here. Then after 2 squares, we'll be attaching 3 squares, like so, like so.
So just arrange all the squares and join with your stitch markers, and when you're done, you go ahead with your needle and thread. But since I don't have enough stitch markers, I would join with my needle and thread and use my stitch markers in between, then my bobby pins as well.
So that's how you continue. Two here, 3 here, 2 here. The next is going to be 3. So 2 3 2 3.
So repeat the same thing and so on and so forth. This is what the back looks like at the moment. You can see that it's still empty.
So for the back here, we have 3. You know, for the front, we started with 2. So the back is going to be 3. And then the down part is going to be 2. If this is 2, then the next joining is going to be 3. Pass the extended rope to the back. Alright guys, I already joined these 2 squares. Then the next is going to be 3. 1 2. Then I'm going to go in with the third one. So I'm going to go in with the third one now, and this is how it will look. So once I join, let me use the stitch marker. Okay, so I'm here to join this because I want to show you how it will look. Pick these 2 together. Pick these 2. This is the third one. All right, join it here. Then you see this one, this square here, this is where you have to join it. So continue to join your squares till you get to your desired length.
When I was done with all the joining of the squares, I moved on to the tassels. I attached the tassels onto the bottom of the dress, and to make the tassels, you wrap your yarn around your arm. I made use of a chunky yarn, so I wrapped it around my arm. I cut it into two, just as seen, and I cut it again into two, and then I started attaching it on the bottom of the dress. Then I attached by leaving two spaces in between the tassels. I did that all the way around. As I was making use of chunky yarn, I picked 6 to 7 strands of yarn, and then I just placed it on the dress to make it easier for me before adding to the dress. So I proceeded to trimming of the tassels to make it neat. I combed it to make it straight, and then I trimmed it to make my tassels neat. Then to make it neat and also to make it of the same length, then I added the straps and passed it to the back of the dress. I did that off camera because I forgot to record it. But to make the straps, just make a chain. You make a chain from the bra cup section. So make 350 chains and you work half double crochet into the chains, and that gives you the strap of the dress. Then you just pass it across the back. So just trim your dress neatly, and when you're done cutting off the excess yarn, just weave in your ends and the dress is ready to wear. So guys, we've come to the end of this tutorial. If you enjoyed this, please give a thumbs up, comment if you have any questions. I'll definitely reply. And thanks for watching so far. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to my channel for more tutorials like this, and I'll see you in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.